The darkness continues.
I was on the Bernard Raleigh show, folks. I believe it was November 22nd. If you look down in the description box, you'll see the link. Go ahead and hit it so you can get the full show. And yeah, we was up there and we were talking about the situations with our mothers in black society. So I decided to go ahead and take a few excerpts from it and bring it over here and let it play for y'all. So go ahead, sit back, listen, enjoy. This was me on the Grown Man Hour.
I'll just let you just go ahead and just go. You know, you get to talk about them old mamas. You can go in forever on that. So I just let you go ahead and go. You got the floor. You got the mic. Just take it away.
In many cases, I think they have a detrimental effect on black men and ultimately on black society in a whole. I'll get to that. You know, y'all may have some questions down the road, but everybody's familiar with the Oedipus complex, or should I say the Oedipus story. Now, I'm going to give y'all a quick shorthand version of what the Oedipus story is. Oedipus was sent away from his biological parents because his father had been told this prophecy, right? That his son would grow up, kill him, marry his wife. So when Oedipus was sent off and he heard the same story from an oracle, he believed that the people that were raising him, he believed them to be his biological parents. So he left in fear of that prophecy coming true. But when he made his way to Thebes, when he made his way there, he ran into this guy and they got into a scuffle and Oedipus killed him, not realizing that he was fulfilling part of the prophecy right then and there. He was fulfilling that prophecy because unbeknownst to Oedipus, that man that he killed was his father. Yep, exactly, brother CJ Rich. He walked right into the prophecy trying to avoid it. He walked right into it and made his way to Thebes, where his mother was the wayward widow. She was the widowed queen. And as a reward to Oedipus for defeating the riddle of the Sphinx, he was offered her as a gift along with the kingship, not knowing that he was marrying his own biological mother. So that is the story of Oedipus. Now that y'all are familiar with the Oedipus tale, and like I said, that's the short version, because you know there's a lot of other stuff that goes into it, but that is the basic gist of the Oedipus story. And the reason I say that we have an Oedipus complex within black society is because no matter what, we are bound to our mothers. All right? We are bound to our mothers. And it's almost as if mama can do no wrong. And I believe it's for the simple fact that she had us, along with the fact that most of us, that's all that we have. So if that's all we have, of course we're going to, whether it be for good, for bad, or for indifference, we will cling to that thing. Now, there's a Freudian theory called the Oedipus complex, and I'm pretty sure you good folks are smart enough to know what that is. The Oedipus complex actually is something that develops in a child when they're 3, 4, 5 years old, where the child actually has a certain attraction to the parent of the opposite sex. So it's not just, male child to mama. It also can be female child to male, even though that in Black society, it's more of the former as opposed to the latter. And what the Oedipus complex is, the theory of it is this child has a certain attraction to their mother. And like I said, it usually develops when they're 3, 4, and 5 years old. Now, that's not the problem. The problem is when it's not resolved, right? Because the theory is that many of us go through it, whether you're black, white, blue, brown, purple, come from Mars. It happens with a lot of us. But what often happens is when you have a father in the house, it kind of breaks it. It gets resolved by the time you're 5 or 6 or 7. But if you don't have a father in the house, it has a tendency to never be resolved. And when it's not resolved, what often happens is that child who suffers from that Oedipus complex has a tendency to go out and seek members of the opposite sex that resemble their mothers, have the same ways of their mothers, the same personalities of their mothers. So this brings me back to the original topic, the complex that we have. I think often we as Black men, we get out here because a lot of us suffer from the Oedipus complex. We have a tendency to go out there and look for women who have our mothers. If they don't have our mother's physical traits, they have our mother's mental traits, emotional traits, our mother's attitude, our mother's ideals. And the crazy thing is that many of us, we do it subconsciously, brothers. We don't even know we're doing it. We have no idea that we are doing it. Okay? We have no idea. This is why it goes along with the whole, because I know y'all heard this before. He want a woman just like his mama. That all plays into it. Because see, your mother plays into it, especially if she's telling you this very thing from the time you're a kid to the time you're old enough to start dating or, hanging out with women or pursuing women. If you've been told all your life that you want a woman just like your mother, she has planted that idea in your head, and it's going to be even worse for you if you already suffer from the Oedipus complex, because it will never get resolved. Let me say that again. It will never get resolved. So if the Oedipus complex is never resolved within you, and you have had that seed planted in your head from a small child, you are more than likely, I'm not saying all you brothers will do it, because I know a lot of y'all are smarter than that, but you are more likely to find yourself out there looking for women who are just like your mama. Now, I know y'all listen to this and y'all are like, oh man, X is crazy. But I'm not. Well, at least not in the sense that y'all think. But what you gotta understand, brothers, is that if you are a young male child and you're growing up with just your mother, you have no idea, man, what subconscious things are being planted into your brain, brothers. You understand? Do you understand? You have no idea. You have no idea what's being implanted in your brain, man. And you don't have a father there to balance it out, balance you out. You understand? There's no one there like you to teach you to be like a man. There's no one there for that. So that Oedipus complex, you take it out there with you when you go out seeking women, and you don't even realize it. You have no idea what's going on. And your mother is not going to help you. She is not going to help you through this. If anything, she is going to contribute to the complex. You understand? She's going to contribute to it because many of our mothers she believes that she's doing the right thing by you. She believes that she's raising you right by teaching you how to sit down to take a leak, by teaching you to worship her, by teaching you to think that she is the epitome of womanhood. Do you understand? As you watch her actions, words, as you listen to her lies, she is implanting these ideas in your head, man, and you don't even realize it. Because I say again, there are no male figures to counter these ideas, to counter these nonsensical views of the world. Because let's be clear, man. Let's be clear. Men and women shouldn't think alike. All right? Men and women shouldn't think alike. If you are a person who acts like your mother, you're probably a failure in relationships. You're probably a failure in your job. You're probably a failure in your life. I mean, that's just the bottom line. If you're a man and you have all the traits of your mother, you will notice that you are yeah, exactly, Brother Clue. She weakens you. She absolutely weakens you. Because see, she has a tendency to teach you to treat women the way you treat her. Because make no mistake, your mother doesn't want your respect. She wants your worship. Therefore, she's ingraining in your mind to worship women the way you worship her, no matter how bad she treats you. I've been on Brother Bernard's before. I told y'all that your old mammy, she will beat you within an inch of your life. She will starve you. She will leave you home by yourself. She'll put her men in front of you. She'll put her shoes, her dresses, her clothes, the club. Still wants you to respect her. She still wants you to obey her. She still wants you to think of her as this for. You are being taught to go along with whatever women do to you. Still adore them, even though they treat you like crap. Because make no mistakes, woman you ever have any interaction with, she is the person who is teaching you how to deal with women. But she's teaching you all the wrong stuff, especially if she's a crappy mother. If she's a crappy mother, she's teaching you all of the wrong things. This is what I want y'all brothers to understand, man. I want y'all to get away from this whole idea that you owe mama. Because you don't owe mama anything. You don't. Especially if you're an adult. Now, y'all will say, man, X is crazy. What is he talking about? You don't owe your mama for raising you. That's what she was supposed to do. That's what she was supposed to do. She doesn't get this award because she raised you. She had you. What else was she supposed to do except raise you? Now, I've had crazy people write me and say, oh, well, X, you know, your mother could have killed you. She could have aborted you. She could have done all this stuff. Yes, she could have, but she didn't. She didn't. You're walking this planet. That means your mother did not abort you or kill you. So it was her duty to raise you. Because if she wasn't going to raise you, she didn't have no choice but to give you to somebody who would raise you. I often talk about the bad treatment of young men when they're growing up with their mothers. The starving, the beatings, her old boyfriend up in your room at night. I talk of these things. And we are so forgiving as brothers. We're just so forgiving of our old mama. But would we be that forgiving if our father did the same thing? If our father was beating us with anything he could get his hands on, leaving us home, starving us, the women he bring around in our room at night, touching on us and all this kind of nonsense, would we be so forgiving? Our mother can do whatever she wants to us, man, for 10, 12, 14 years of our lives. And no matter what, if we mess around and get rich, we'll buy her a house. We'll buy her a car. But if our father missed one football game, we'll never speak to him again. I mean, this is where we are, folks. And we, as black men, we have to break out of this. It's ruining us. It's ruining us. This worship of our mothers, this deification of our mothers is killing us. Everything, most men, everything that they are, it's a direct result of how they were raised a certain way. I truly believe that many men who find themselves not only dead or in prison or on drugs or doing all this wayward stuff, man, has a lot to do. Say, oh man, you grown now, oh you need to just get over it. See, that's the problem. They keep telling us to just get over it. Just get over it. And I do not believe we should just get over it. I believe we should confront it. It is the only way we can be free as men. Now, people will tell you, oh, you just hate your mother, you just hate black women and all this kind of nonsense. But I believe the opposite. I believe that many brothers can't find their way to hate their mother. I believe that is the problem. Even though she's done things that are very worthy of hate, very worthy of disdain, very worthy of just totally disengaged from her for the rest of your life. And I think that brothers find it hard to do. And that is the conflict. That brothers can't hate their mother, even though she did so many hate-worthy things to them. And I think inside of many brothers, that is the inner conflict. That is the inner turmoil that goes on inside many of us. And I think it ruins many of us because we don't resolve it. We don't resolve it. We don't fix it. Y'all may not believe this because you love your old mammy, but in theory, this is what we have. Especially if your mama's single. No man raised you, brothers, with no man. I had no man around you to teach you how to be a man, how to think like a man, act like a man, carry yourself like a man. Therefore, you're a mama's man. You're a husband, as I often say. You're a husband, HUSB/son. So she would want nothing more. She would want nothing more than to raise you, you grow up, get rich, take care of her. Something that she couldn't get a man to do, something that she couldn't get your father to do. So what she will do is sort of kind of indoctrinate you, groom you into the husband role. And I know many of you, especially you brothers out there who are successful and make good money, and you might have came from nothing. You might have grew up poor. You might have grew up coming from meager means. You might have grown up that way. Many of us did. And you got out of the ghetto, and you studied hard, you worked hard, you became an entrepreneur, you became a tech guy, you became an investor, you became you became a NFL player, you've done whatever, you brothers out there. The first woman that comes to you and talks about your money is who? Who's the first woman to come to you and talk about what you need to do with your money? And usually what she wants you to do is take care of her. Think about it. Think about it. Those of you brothers out there who make good money and make a good living and are successful, who was the first woman to come to you and say, you need to take care of me? Who was the first woman to tell you what you need to do with your newly found cash, your newly found success? Who? Now, I know it ain't everybody. I know it ain't every brother out there. But you trying to tell me that it's none of us? It's none of us out there? And even if you something, who's the first person to say, well, I took care of you. I raised you. I carried you for 8-9 months. Who's that person? You to grow up, get rich, get successful, and take care of her. Even if she treated you like crap when you were a kid. You were raised by your grandmother, but let you get out there and get some success. Let you get out there and make some money. Old mama will make her way right back into your life. Claim you owe her. I believe a lot of these mothers in reality, they don't even want you a family. Especially if you're making good money and you're successful and you're doing more than the man she decided to have you with did. You think she wants you to get out there and share those riches with the next woman and not her? Y'all believe that this Oedipus stuff doesn't screw us up. Y'all believe that old mama doesn't have a direct effect on your life if she's the only one that raises you. Y'all believe that old mama doesn't have a direct effect on black society. Do y'all really believe that? Do y'all really believe that? No way y'all could possibly believe that. Brothers, listen to what I'm saying. If you're a man, or should I say if you're a male, let's go back. If you're a male, if you are a male, you have to realize, man, that you can never become a man as long as you stay up under your mother. You have to realize that, man. You have to realize it. Many of you know it. Many of you guys, what you got away from your mama, you started to see things different. It was like somebody had took shades off your eyes in the middle of a sunny day. It's like somebody it's like somebody took lead shoes off of your feet once you got away from your mama. You know it's true. And a lot of you never got sucked back into it. Now, I know a lot of you did. Like I said, you went out here, you got successful, you made your money. You know, I see a lot of brothers in here that I know are successful guys. I know y'all got that money. And a lot of y'all got and bought mama a house, bought mama a car, took care of her. Y'all might have even moved into your crib. I don't know. A lot of us, we did it because we thought we were obligated to do it. We thought we were obligated to do it for the simple fact that she had us, no matter how bad she treated us. That's the problem. The fact that we feel so obligated to this woman for the simple fact that she gave birth to us. Now, I'm not telling you, I've never told brothers to hate their old mama. I've never said that. I've never said hate your mama. Never. She's your mother. You're supposed to love her. You're supposed to love her. But that's it. You're supposed to love her. Not worship her, not deify her, and not forgive all the things she's done to you. Especially if you've never forgiven your father for the things you think he's done to you. Because mind you, brothers who don't know who their father is, the only idea you have of what was done to you came from who? Came from whom? Especially if you don't know who he is. Especially if he wasn't in your life. Whatever ideas you have about that man came from one person and one person only. This is why I always tell brothers, if your father was not in your life, before you start to hate that man, you grow up, you become an adult, get away from your old mammy. If that man is still alive, go and find that brother. Listen to his story. Let him tell you what happened. And I guarantee you, whatever he tells you will probably be the exact opposite. The exact opposite of what your old mama told you. Now, mind you, I don't think all fathers are perfect. Far from it. Because make no mistake, there are brothers out there who just didn't care about their children. I get that too. But if you, as a kid, was told how bad your father was, how he didn't want you, how he wasn't bothered with you, all this kind of nonsense you've heard, go and talk to that man. Listen to his story. Let him tell you what happened. And see if it lines up with what your old mama says. I bet you it don't. And this is the thing. If, say you were a person you were raised by your father. Say your mama was an old crackhead, drunk, dope addict, whatever, hooker. And you were raised by your father. Right?
Oedipus Complexidus.
When you grow up and you happen to seek her out, you know what her first line is going to be? Well, I did the best I could. That's going to be her line. Not, I'm sorry, for not being in your life. I'm sorry I was a whack mother. I'm sorry, for not being there for you. That's what you're going to hear. But on the other side of that, if you were raised by just your mama and your father wasn't in your life, when you go to find that man and you finally link up with that man and chop it up with that man, one of the first things he's going to say to you, he's going to apologize for not being in your life. He's going to apologize for not being your father. Now, that may not be the case in every scenario, but I'm pretty sure overwhelmingly that's going to be the case. Even if he's an old guy by the time you found him, he's going to apologize for not being there for you, man. Now, that apology may not mean much to you. I get it. But you're going to get that apology for him not being around you, for him not being your father. But your mother will never apologize for anything, man. And this is what I'm talking about. You live with your mother. She beats the crap out of you for every little thing. She treats you like a piece of property, not a person. If you happen to live with her and she got an old boyfriend, she'll always put that boyfriend in front of you. She'll put all of them in front of you. The men she chases, the reason why she leaves you alone. You're a 10-year-old kid, and what are you doing? You're watching your 8-year-old brother, your 6-year-old sister, your 4-year-old brother, and your 2-year-old sister, and you're 10. While she's off to the club, off to the bar, off with her friends. And she'll always tell you, you are the man of the house, which is absurd. You're 10 years old. You're not the man of anything. But this is what she tells you. She has to tell you this. That's how she stymies you into believing that this is normal, that this is right, by telling an 8, 9, 10-year-old boy he's the man of something. You're the man of nothing when you're that age. There is no man of the house. That is the problem. There is no man of the house unless that man is living there. But this is what she tells you, indoctrinating you. Because if she's telling you you're the man of the house, what does that make you? Because she's the woman of the house, no doubt. So if you're the man of the house, what is she basically telling you? She's telling you you're her husband. She's just not saying it. But you're 10. You're 10 years old. You don't know that. You only know what she's taught you. You only know what she's indoctrinated into your mind. It's all you know. This is why I say the things I say. Now everybody says, I'm the resident these old mamas man. And I embrace that. You know why? Because I want you brothers to be free. I want you to be free. I want you to take back what she took from you when you were a child. I want you to take back everything that she said you will not have, you will not be, you cannot do. Because usually she's the one to do it to you. She's the one to tell you you won't grow up to be anything. She's the one to tell you you'll never have, you'll never be. She's the one to tell you she's your only friend. Have y'all ever heard that? The only friend you got is your mama. Any of y'all ever heard that? This is what you were told as a child, brothers. Because this is what she wants you to believe. She treats you as if you will never grow up. She treats you as if she will never get old.
Oedipus Complexidus.
She has sucked you into that bubble of disillusionment. She sucked you into that bubble of suspension, of disbelief. And a lot of you recognize that once you got away from her. You recognize that this was a bunch of BS. You realize she stunted your growth, man. She stunted your growth mentally. She stunted your growth intellectually. Think back. Those of you brothers who may have had problems in school. How often did your mama sit down and help you with your homework? How often? How often? When you got those letters coming home saying that you had problems reading, problems math, how much attention did she pay to that? How many times did you come into your mama with a report card or something else that was going on at the school? How many? Tell me. I want to know and see what was going on with you. Did she ever meet any of your teachers? Did she ever have any conversation with your principal, guidance counselor? And if you happen to graduate, did she ever sit down with you and talk to you about colleges, universities? Did your mama ever ask you what you wanted to be when you grew up? You usually got that question from somebody else, not from her. Think about those things. Now, this takes me back to what I said earlier. We should just get over it. That's the problem. Many of us don't get over it because we think it's normal to carry this around. We think it's normal to just have this inside of us. Because we've been told that it's normal. We've been indoctrinated to believe it's normal. This is all part of being a kid. Your mom not giving a damn about you, not helping you with your homework, beating you within an inch of your life, barely feeding you, barely housing you. It's all normal, right? It's all normal. It's all part of growing up black. Newsflash, man. This ain't normal. This ain't normal. Why do you think only 20% of black children are reading at a grade level by the time they're in the 4th grade? Only 20% of black children are doing math at grade level by the 4th grade. What about that other 80%? That other 80% that can't read, write, count. Why do you think that is? Now, of course, many of those kids, and I would bet a big percentage of that 80%, many of those kids, they were around their old mama 4-5 years before they even got anywhere near schoolhouse. And like I always say, y'all know what I'm gonna say next. She wasn't teaching you how to read, how to write, how to count, colors, ABCs. She wasn't teaching you none of that in those 4-5 years that you was around her. She wasn't yellow and green. She wasn't teaching you that, right? She wasn't teaching you how to count to 10, 20, 30, 40, 100. She wasn't teaching you how to read, right? She wasn't teaching you how to hold a pencil. She wasn't teaching you how to tell time, right? Look at some of these kids now. Pull up some of these videos on social media. These kids are 3, 4, 5. Boy, they can cuss like a sailor. They can use profanity with precision, as I say. Profanity with precision. But I bet you they can't write their name. I bet you they can't count to 20. I bet you they don't know their ABCs. I bet you they don't know colors. But boy, they can sure cuss you out though, right? Where are they learning that from? Now people will say, oh, they're learning it from TV. But who's giving you access to the TV, man, when you're 4 years old? Who's buying the TV? Oh, he's going into Best Buy and buying it? Who's giving you access to all this crap to you? She's still not off the hook. You walk into these houses, man, and you see 60-inch TVs, and Xboxes, and see one book that she points to. This is what, and also screwed up. You can't tell me, man, that this doesn't matter. You can't tell me that this isn't real. And I know it's a lot of y'all right here, man, in this chat room, man, sitting to the left of my avatar. Y'all went through this, man. And those of you who didn't go through it, you know somebody that went through it. You grew up with somebody that went through it. You know somebody that's going through it right now. You know kids that are suffering through this right now. Especially young boys. This isn't made up. This isn't something that X just talks about all the time, man. This is real. I know because I saw kids that went through I see kids that's going through it right now.
Them old mamas.
Y'all ever be somewhere, man, and y'all see these little kids, man, and you look at them and they 3 and they 4 and they 5 years old, man, and they running up and down the street, not an adult in sight. They in the road, they're running across the street. It's almost as if no one's around. Those are the kids that are going through it, man. Those are the kids who aren't really being, they're not really being parented. They're being owned. Then their old mama come out the door and yell for them. They're a block away. They 4 years old, 5 years old. They're a block away. She's yelling for them. You trying to tell me a parent like that is helping kids with homework? You trying to tell me a parent like that is teaching kids how to read, write, count? That's what you're trying to tell me? Come on, man. Come on. At some point, man, we got to call this for what it is, man. You know? Children aren't property, man. Like my man, shout out to my man, Big Nate. Big Nate always says some women treat children like accessories, man. They're like earrings. They're like shoes, man. And oftentimes, I think that they treat them less important as their shoes and their earrings and their wigs and their dresses and their red bottom shoes, man. And when you talk about this stuff, especially when you talk about black folks, when you tell these truths, the first thing they say, oh, you're bashing. Oh, you're negative. Since when is the truth negative? Why is the truth always referred to as negative? That doesn't make any sense. If I'm telling you the truth, I'm being negative. Now, if I'm lying to you and telling you you're this great mother while your kids can't read, write, count, no colors, I'm lying to you telling you you're this great mother while your kids walk around with dusty clothes on, head nappy, crusty face, feet hanging out their sneakers. If I'm lying to you, telling you you're this great mother while your kids are starving, you're leaving them home by themselves, I'm being positive. If I'm lying to you, telling you you're this great mother. But if I tell the truth about it, I'm being negative. What sense does that make? Just like it doesn't make any sense for them to tell you to just get over it. Get over being beat to a pulp for 10, 12, 14, 15 years of your life. Get over her old punk ass boyfriends coming to your room at night. Get over her putting everything in front of you. Get over it. Fine. Like I always say, I will take that, Alex, $4,000. I will take what is get over it. But if all of these brothers are supposed to just get over it, those women out there who brothers is going upside their heads, slapping them silly, swelling their lips, blackening their eyes. Just get over it. Now, people are so, oh, that's wrong. Wait a minute. That accused for a decade or more should just get over it. So, being that you were or are being abused, you should just get over it too. You know why? Because when you were 6 and 7 years old and getting beat, you had no choice but to deal with it. You couldn't leave. You couldn't jump in your car and just leave. You couldn't do it. You had to endure it. You had to endure something that you probably didn't even understand. As a child, you don't know what's happening to you. But an adult woman doesn't have that problem, does she? She can leave whenever she wants. She can wait for that brother to go to work and jump in her car and be gone. She can go on back to her mama house. She can run to a battered woman's shelter. She can do all kinds of crap. But as a child, you can't do that. Can you? You can't just leave. You're 6 years old. Where are you going? What are you doing? You're forced to live with this. You're forced to endure this. And that's all part of the Oedipus crisis. Crisis.
The darkness continues.
Oedipus Complexidus.
Them old mamas.
Open your minds.
Only from T.P.O.T. Media. Open your mind.